She has performed on the Moth main stage. She's been at South by Southwest Comedy, and she is the author of one of my very, very favorite memoirs. It's called Burn Down the Ground. Please welcome Kambri Cruz.
So before I get into my story, I'm just going to give you guys a little quick piece of trivia. In prison, gum sells for $1 a stick. That's pretty impressive, right? Okay, so on the list of items that my dad, number 1133944, wanted me to smuggle into him in jail, gum seemed doable. He had also asked me for a needle and a $100 bill. No. So yeah, gum it is. Okay, so Dad's prison is in Huntsville, Texas. And it's a lot less scary than I expected. It actually looks just like a junior high, except it's like wrapped up in barbed wire. You know, they have a warden instead of a principal. They have armed guards instead of hall monitors. But they have recess, which is fun. And everyone there is so friendly, like in that weird, stereotypical Texas friendly way, a little false way. Like, oh, it sure is a nice day for a visit, isn't it? Now you have fun with your daddy. And there's one guard in particular who is straight out of Central Casting. He's pot-bellied, wears a 10-gallon hat, has a white handlebar mustache, and cowboy boots. And he takes a look at my driver's license, and I kid you not, he goes, "New York City, get a rope." Did you just make a joke about hanging me at a prison famous for its record number of executions? I think you did. But thankfully, I am familiar with the Pace Picani ad campaign of the 80s and 90s, so I laugh. You know, I'm a little nervous, and, oh, you're so funny. And he is. He's nice, and he's slow. He's so slow. The dude is wearing fucking cowboy boots. Like, what would you do if somebody busted through the gate? Like, seriously, what would you do? Just you're not going to catch them. But I guess he figures that somebody would never be a girl in high heels from New York City, and she most definitely would not be smuggling a jumbo pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit in the waistband of her slacks from Banana Republic. Not her, not me. No, I'm too nice. Oh. So when his metal detecting wand screeches exactly where I've got the gum hidden, I'm like, oh, and he goes, "Oh, don't you worry, sugar. That's just your belt buckle." Okay. Not wearing a belt. Juicy Fruit is wrapped in foil. Not something I'd considered. And apparently not something he considered either, because he doesn't even like lift my shirt up. He's like, "Yeah, go on, have a good day. Say hi to your daddy for me." So I go inside and I wait for my dad to come into view. And when he does, I'm shocked. I'm heartbroken. You know, he's wearing prison whites, and you never want to see your dad wearing prison whites, of course. But he looks like he's in pain. He's hunched over. He can barely walk. Like, every single step that he's taking looks like it's causing him tremendous pain. He just crunched over. I'm like, oh my God, what happened to him? Like, are they not taking care of him? What's going on in here? But I don't want him to see any concern on my face. You know, it's the holidays, and we're having this visit, and so I smile, hi, Daddy. And he's in so much pain that he doesn't even wave back. He just kind of does this, like, nods at me, and just is like, and my heart just falls. I've left my dad alone in prison to rot. And the tears well up in my eyes, and I feel like I'm the worst daughter in the world. And then Dad stands up straight, upright, and starts dancing a jig. See what happens if you don't visit me more? I'm an old man. And he starts strutting perfectly upright with his trademark Elvis strut. So yeah, my dad, who's in jail, is deaf and a bit of a comedian, a little bit of a prankster. He got me. He got me. I was like, you jerk! Oh, No, I slap him. He slaps me. We hug, and we go outside into the prison visiting area, and we start chit-chatting. And a few minutes into the visit, I noticed that my dad has a new tattoo. A new tattoo. I'm like, where'd you get that? He says, oh, this? Oh, a black boy in the textile mill gave it to me for my 60th birthday. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, it is a Tasmanian devil doing the I love you signs with his tongue sticking out. I'm like, oh, really? Good choice, 60-year-old man, birthday gift. Oh, but hey, speaking of gifts, it's Christmas. I've got a surprise for you. I'm like, I have gum. And he's like, I'm like, oh, just chill out, slow down. I'm like, all right. I look around, make sure the coast is clear. I'm like real sly about it. I'm like pulling it out. And he just rips it out of my hand, tears it open, and starts chomping on a piece of gum with his remaining front teeth, because all his teeth have been knocked out from fights and the excellent dental care that they provide in prison. So he looks like a cow chewing cud. He's just like, and it only takes a couple of for the taste to overwhelm him. It just completely consumes his whole body, and he's just like, and he looks like a kid seeing fireworks for the first time. He puts his arms out and he closes his eyes, and he looks like he's praising Jesus or something. He's like, long time. What an amazing moment to give my dad gum. This is so sweet. And then suddenly, he starts shoving stick after stick of gum in these secret pockets that he's cut into his sneakers. I'm like, what's happening? Just stick after stick of gum. And he's like, takes off his other shoe, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He says, I can sell these sticks for $1. I'm like, oh my God. Gum is contraband. I knew that, because it can be used as glue. But I just thought, we're having a visit. He just wanted some gum. We're going to chew some gum. That's why he had asked me for a jumbo pack, specifically for a jumbo pack. He had pre-planned this, and I'm a fucking mule. I'm a mule. A gum, juicy fruit mule. So he does the same thing with the other sneaker, and he's not even being, secretive about it. He's being very brazen, just stick after stick of gum. And so I look around to see if, does anybody notice? Is anybody looking, And that's when I noticed this really beefy Hispanic guy sitting at the table next to us. And he looks really fucked up. He's got, half of his skull is missing. He's missing an eyeball. And his mouth is, drooped down, and he has to, mop up spit with a napkin. He has no control over his saliva. And where his eyeball used to be is just mashed up flesh. It looks like a sculptor had kind of given up on that part, and they were like, I'm going to work on this side. And, still got thumbprints in it and shit. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck happened to this guy? So I asked my dad, what's wrong with him? And my dad says, him? He killed his wife and his kids and then tried to kill himself, but it didn't work. Good man. Quiet. Quiet, says the deaf man. And good, it's all relative. See, Dad is in prison for 20 years for attempted murder. Couple of the downsides of being deaf, besides, you can't hear your children's voices and you don't get to enjoy music, but you also don't hear the cops break in when you're stabbing somebody. So you get caught and you get 20 years. So I'm contemplating that. Oh, he's innocent. He didn't do it. Just ask him. She was trying to kill herself. I'm contemplating just how weird this is, that don't judge lest ye be judged thing. I mean, the murderer is a good man in my dad's eyes, because if he's not, what does that say about Dad? And I'm letting that sink in, and that's when I hear this real loud, just thunderous shout, "You!" And I, of course, jolt. I hear it, but my dad doesn't hear it. He just sees me tense up. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I don't know. Somebody shouted." And I hear it again, "You!" And I look around, and I see this man in a suit, cowboy hat, cowboy boots, tie, and he's pissed. And he's looking at us. And I recognize his picture from the wall. He's the warden. And he's pointing at me, and he goes, "You! Come here now!" And I'm like, "Oh, me?" He said, "Yes, you!" But he's talking to my dad, actually, and I'm so confused. I'm like, I start to pretend like I'm deaf, too. I'm like, and I look over at the murderer with the missing eyeball, and he's like, "I don't know." And so my dad, he gets up, he's like cool as a cucumber, he struts over, again, best Elvis strut, and the warden screams at him without, he's like over-exaggerating his lip movements, and he's like, "What's in your mouth?" And my dad opens up his mouth, shows him this chewed up wad of gum, and he says, "Where did you get that?" And he's about to pop a vein. And my dad, without hesitation, just fucking rats me out. He's like, "Huh?" Oh my God, what the fuck? So he makes him spit out the gum, because you're not supposed to have gum in junior high, kids. And Dad comes strutting back over, and he sits down. Now, I'm shaking out of my skin. I am so terrified. I have never been in jail, ever, and I've never smuggled anything, and I didn't know he was going to have all these sticks of gum in his shoe, and I know he's got a strip search after the visit, so he's gonna get busted, and they're gonna know it's me. I just like, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. Just like, I gotta go. And so I'm shaking, I'm trying to calm myself down. So I grab my Dr. Pepper, but I'm literally shaking this bad that it just dribbles all down my shirt. And my dad's like, "What's wrong? You shaking? Are you scared?" "Pussy." Pussy. Yeah, because in ASL they couldn't figure out, like, a little dainty flower that a little bud and a bee comes in and steal. Yeah, no, it's like fucking horse pussy. God, fucking pussy. So I'm a pussy. Yes, I'm a pussy. Yes, I'm shaking. Yes, I'm scared. And, I am actually also free. So I'm going to leave. And good luck with that strip search. But I'm getting the F out of D. So I'm like, "Bye, Dad, gotta go." And I like speed walk across the parking lot, because you don't want to run. So I'm like, "Ooh, hair." So again, I'm like speed walking through, and I get in the car. My husband had been sitting in there, and he was like reading the newspaper, and he's like, "Hey, baby, I was a visit." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of this car!" So we speed out of the prison, and we get home back to New York, and we don't, because my dad's deaf, we can't just call each other up on the phone. Texas, yeah, it's complicated, but essentially I just had to wait for a letter to see what the fuck happened with the gum. And so I get a letter a couple weeks later. It says, "Surprise! I still have the gum. I sold some, and I kept some for myself, and then I paid off some debt." Because he has debt in prison. He loves football, not very good at gambling at it. So he says, "Okay, so I had a nice time visiting with you, and then the next time you come and see me, I want you to sneak in a Dairy Queen cheeseburger." Okay, where am I gonna hide that? Ha ha. All right, thank you.